Hey guys, Centurion here. Um, I'm going to be going over a video that I saw yesterday, and this was about a modder who was being interviewed by a guy called Fossum Gaming. Now, I'll get into the details of this in a second, but this video was about ReArmed and how apparently the owner of ReArmed Designful was doing some outlandish things, but there's a lot of errors within this video, and I think needs to come to light because this video is getting a lot of traction, and not a lot of evidence is supplied before people make their judgment. Now, I'm not going to say you should obviously side, but there is some things in here which is very questionable, and a lot of things that really need to be thought about before you make your decision on this. So I'm going to quickly run through this, and this video is 38 minutes long, and I'm going to pick out the parts where obviously the main stuff is, because a lot of this is a he said, she said scenario. And it is honestly, my brain hurts, but there's also a lot of things that needs to come to light about this one, because I think this point, just going through it, I think a lot of it's false. A lot of the claims are completely made to be lies and to basically defamate on the character of Designful and the ReArmed servers. And it's gone to the point where doing a lot of research, I literally spent maybe 9 hours yesterday going through the 87.8's video or podcast where they went ahead and interviewed Designful about these accusations, the video itself, and some old 87.8 podcast videos where they actually went over through some of the things, such as the botting of the code, which allows people to get into the and use the owner privileges and admin privileges by these obviously getting the mod, which the modder actually accused Designful of. So I'm not picking a side. There is some some very outlandish things going back and forth from Designful to them and them to Designful. But I'm going over this video today, and I need to bring like some of these accusations. So without further ado, let me get into this video. And just before we get in, he dropped another video 6 hours ago as part 2, and there's still so many questionable things in this one, and it's only the first minute and a half. So just be prepared. I'm literally losing shit here. Now, the first piece of this pie is the thumbnail, and the thumbnail itself is raising a red flag. He includes creators such as Exclusions, Cairo, Cotton, and Summit1G, and he does it in the first minute of the video as well, where he's going through the creators who'd made videos on ReArmed as if they've got anything to do with ReArmed apart from playing their servers, unless they have endorsement from the server to play the video. And I'm not sure what they're trying to do, if they're trying to link it or clickbait it or something, but it's still very questionable at the very start. And if anyone can actually figure out why they did this, or if the person who's responsible for the video, which is obviously going to be the video creator itself, wants to actually say something about it, but there's no dark truth. I'm just gonna say now, there's no dark truth. And then we see the very first questionable thing from Designful, and obviously that's to tell people to mass report it. And then he plays some stupid sound effect. And then goes back to the creators. But it's really question, and then there's the intro. But let me skip to it.
This video and share it with somebody you know. It's extremely important that the gaming community is made very well aware that Designful and his community is not to be trusted.
So firstly, he shows obviously an image from 2021, which obviously it may be Designful, but obviously it is questionable what he says. But then he shows a quick snippet of a video or of a message, which is something not related to him. It's about a backdoor which people can use or botting, and then went ahead to show a picture of something, but you doesn't see who it's from, and yet they're trying to pin it on him. But there's no actual proof of him because you didn't show the name. What? Not evidence if you don't show the name to prove it was him. Like, what's the logic? And then, obviously, now they go ahead and do an interview with the modder, Dope.
Okay, well, this is dope. I just want to thank you for taking your
Hello.
time to provide first-hand context on this.
But can you prove it's true? No, because it's the first-hand context. He has no evidence in this at all, and he could easily make shit up to defamate on the other person. You need evidence.
Yeah.
First little question I have here. So where did this all begin?
So, you want me to go back a good bit, or you want me to bring you up to current?
Just bring me
or
up to current with
like,
you know, yeah, just
okay,
briefly.
so-
Yeah.
well,
And if you notice, then at the bottom it shows the image from the earlier where I said was who sent it, and it was a link to a video as well as a link to the Steam Workshop of Dope's licensed heli crash. But they said him and Dill made a backdoor, so they obviously can access server administrator privileges, but they don't show the proof of the accusation. And you can't prove it and then claim someone did it without the proof. And this is where it gets very questionable, because it's a he said, she said.
so, ReArmed, I shouldn't say ReArmed, because I have a lot of respect for ReArmed, like, as a whole. I feel like their community isn't bad people, but the owner, Designful, he's a real piece of shit.
Now, this is where it gets very questionable. And they show a Reddit post at the bottom of apparently that ReArmed needs to remove because Designful is apparently using or extorting emails by showing an email chain. But what they forget to realize is that to get into the ReArmed server, you need to have your email and phone number verified on Discord so they can prevent people using bots, alt accounts to prevent spam and obviously extortionate things that can actually come into the server if you don't have that. And as well, you need to be whitelisted on the server by using your Steam ID, or unless you obviously are already in the server. But I'm not too sure because I don't play PC too much, and I don't know if it's whitelist only. But from what I know, that the server is you have to have a verified Discord, and apparently using an email, I can pretty much guarantee that is completely false. And saying so is, although very questionable, they still do not have evidence to support it. And you can't throw an accusation and make people believe you without the evidence, because then, like I keep saying, it's a he said, she said. Now, another thing is that the question of monetization and how it's against Bohemia TOS. But what they forget to include is that Dope did the exact same thing on a server he is admin on. He was charging $20 for a raid vehicle, and this is on the Gen Z servers, which also the person making the video for some gaming is an admin on. Now, I can't show this because every invite, including the website, has been taken down because I have no idea, and I can't literally find an invite at all to the server, so I can't prove it's here. But from what I've been learning from people who's rearmed and been playing both the servers and questioning people from other servers about it, he is indeed, in fact, an admin. Now, if you can find it for me, or anyone can actually find the server, please do so, because you'll see it for yourself. But also, another thing is that the fact that he did this, that obviously Dope obviously had a monetized vehicle, his server was in fact taken down by Bohemia because he broke TOS. And I think this is purely now out of spite because Designful pointed it out and obviously took it to Bohemia, or one of his admins did, or someone else did.
He'll do anything to ruin any upcoming servers, and
Well, that's obviously bullshit because the amount of servers ever made every day, I'm pretty sure he's going to have one hell of a job on his hand.
we've been a victim of this for like 2 years now, on the servers that we own, and constantly, whether it's harassment for any mod that's made public on the Steam Workshop. Like I made that Tarkov mod, the clothing, and ultimately he's just coming at it and having his friends and sending bots to Discord and tagging everybody. And
Now, obviously, what Designful said there was very questionable. The fact that he was endorsing hackers go to servers, which is something you should never do because, well, it just doesn't make it fun and it ruins the experience for other people. But then again, he obviously Designful was accusing him of theft of a Tarkov mod, and he was accusing him of sending hackers or bots or whatever he said to the servers, and none of them was supplying evidence. It's just questionable from both sides there.
pretty much saying that it's a piece of shit mod. He's messaging people saying to report it.
So what? Just take the hit. Like, other people will buy your mod. Why is one person influencing so heavily on you to the fact you're actually going ahead and crying about it? Other people will buy your mod. The only thing you need to worry about is obviously him trying to take down your mob. Yeah, reporting it is an issue, but then again, other people will also upvote it. It's just a stalemate. Just prove it's not stolen and move on. Happy days.
Trying to get it taken down.
Yeah, and
threatening.
he has a huge community that will listen to him as well. And on top
Yeah.
of that, he owns an army of bots. So
Oh yeah.
Now, this is where obviously the person in question, Fossum Gaming, is showing bias because he's obviously siding with Dope here, which then again obviously brings back to the fact he's an admin of the server, which is, and he'll obviously side with Dope. But if you're going to interview someone, you want to be obviously listening to both sides and getting both sides of the story. Saying he owns an army of bots and that he'll obviously do that and people will listen to him is showing your questionability about how very, if this is actually true and you're a verifiable source, then people will listen to you. You can't prove any of this. You won't know if everyone's going to listen to Designful, so why are you saying they will? People have a moral compass. They won't go ahead and do something unless they think it's proof and see that it's what they're doing is right, which is not. Going to another server to go ahead and muck about in it is not going to go ahead and go click right in their moral compass. Why?
Yeah.
but and has this happened to other servers?
Oh yeah, like this is why you're not seeing any upcoming servers. Like there's some really good.
Yet again, bullshit. The amount of servers I'm in with less than 200 people is insane. I'd like to join servers because I may play them in the future. At the moment, I just need to upgrade my PC so I can play these servers. I don't understand what your point is here. There is so many new servers. Just go on to DZS8 and search it.
Like I met a dude named Goon. He has good dude. He owns Escape from DayZ servers. Me and him talk every once in a while.
No one cares what you and this goon does. Just get to the chase and tell us what you're going to say. Stop lacking on it.
Bear and Goon together, they own that. They're doing an amazing job. But Designful also is going after them. Now, I'm not sure how aware of it they are, but I've seen messages. I'm sitting here living through it. Like I'm in Discords that I should say I've been in Discords.
If you've seen the messages, get the messages and show us. Why are you not showing us that he is going after them? Maybe you're bullshitting. We don't know. And the fact that you're trying to claim it with no evidence is showing how lackluster you are with this proof. You need to prove your point and show the evidence to make it verified. You cannot lie. It's just lies. If you don't show us, we can't prove it. And why would we believe you if you don't show it? And showing us the same link that you did early in the video is not proving your point. It's just showing that you have the only evidence about some bullshit claim that you cannot prove is related to Dill that's in the claim or Designful to prove your point.
To where after this recent hate, just because Designful had a few friends that are admin in that server, They banned me from it. They banned me from the modding community just because of Designful's insight.
You wasn't banned from the modding community at all. You can go ahead and make mods. You were banned from the modding community because you was charging $20, going against Bohemia's terms of service about monetizing something that will alter the game in terms of fairness to gain money from people who wants a raid vehicle. You was banned because you broke Bohemia's terms of service. Now, you can pin it on design for all you like, but you monetized a mod and you suffer the consequences. This brings me back to the meme. If you fuck around, you find out. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know,
It is influence.
so
Yeah.
yeah. So anybody that's got something good going for them and they're trying to come up, you know, in the world and population,
Yeah.
if you're in the crosshairs of Designful, he's gonna do his best to ruin you.
Now, for the next 5 minutes or so, they just literally keep going back to the same subject of them accusing Designful of being this almighty superior overlord in the DayZ community that is going around and shutting down servers because he wants to be the mighty overlord of DayZ. He doesn't need to do that. He has plenty of servers with hundreds of people wanting to queue in, and I doubt he's so much of a like the Führer of DayZ communities to go ahead and ruin other people purely because he gives a shit and wants to do so. It's just outlandish.
Yeah.
Well.
So they talk about this, like, and they even talk about fucking Designful sending bots just like he did to us the other day, and he apologized for it on their stream. Like, he just, I know I'm getting a little off topic there, but
Now I went ahead and tried to look at this 87.8 Survivor FM stream where they tried to say that there was other victims. No, he said that the people in this video was saying that they did this to other people, and if they can go ahead and or someone can go ahead and actually point me to the right stream, or the part in the 87.8 where they say this, yeah, the only thing he apologized for was the fact that he did it to them because they was go ahead and doing it to him. Now, after this, he goes on a tangent about how people are bugging mods to get access to own the privileges and admin privileges. But what I'll do is I'll link a video to 87.8 because they explain it far better. But he was just basically saying that everyone wants his mod, and apparently they were saying that Designful was actually going ahead and basically duplicating this mod and doing it himself. Yet there's no proof. It's just purely accusation. And if you want to go watch this video, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to link this video because it's just purely a bias fest and basically defamating on Designful and ReArmed with very, very, very minimal evidence on literally both sides. I think it's just a pile of horse shit from both sides, and I think it's just a cock measuring contest. So I'm just going to keep going what I'm doing now, and I'll link the video to A in the description.
Comes a good question because they go after, they're targeting servers and they're trying to target server named Gen Z, which you're actually the owner of.
I'm one of the owners. Yeah,
one of the owners of. So that what is the recent event that happened today with a fraudulent DMCA claim that he's also doing something a little bit different from like a past video I did covering what DMCAs are, which are tedious, but he's actually using it to dox you.
I'm not sure where the logic lies in this one. How can you go ahead and DMCA someone to dox? Where is the logic? If you DMCA someone, they get a notification that they are being DMCA'd, but you only can do it if there's a actual copyright claim on the questionable or the mod in question. How can you prove or even get the person's name through it? And it also goes back to the age-old question: Where is the evidence? You cannot prove the DMCA claim. You should have an email, or you should have a letter sent to your home address. You can't claim someone DMCA'd it, because unless you have the evidence, you would have the email chain or the question or the something to show that you are being DMCA claimed. But where is the proof? You can't just go ahead and say, "Oh, you're being DMCA claimed for docs," and trying to dox you. Well, they don't get your name. You get the claim. They get a chain to them that the person in question by the username is being DMCA'd. And even if you get DMCA'd and the person who's doing it is doing it out to docs, that is completely illegal. Why are you not taking this to the police if this is true? If you're going to go ahead and obviously be DMCA'd and they have no copyright claim or even any shred of ownership or copyright or trademark or anything to do with the mod or something in question, it is illegal. You are falsifying and pretty much committing fraud. You need to have proof that you own it, and by doing this, you're obviously registering it with a government authority or a copyright agency. You have to have proof, and you cannot do a DMCA unless you have the copyright proof. So, where's the email? Where's proof that you're being DMCA'd? Where's any shred of evidence to support your claim? And you cannot dox unless you have a court summons to prove it, or even anything to do with a legal document to prove it. And even then, they won't get it until the date they are or even brought into court or anything. But they cannot get your name through a DMCA. So, all it'll come up is user ID, name, claim, copyright, so on. This person has been asked to take down this or such a thing. You will have evidence, so why not show it?
Sadly, the this is going to be in a lot of in the air with any other modders that hear this, because I'm saying firsthand how this will work in my eyes, but everybody has a different idea of it. When a DMCA is done, you're claiming that that's your product, pretty much, to summarize it.
Yeah, but you're also claiming that that person in question who you're DMCA claiming has stolen your product or using it without permission or license. You cannot say, "Oh, it's my product," unless you have a copyright proof. To have a DMCA, you need to prove or have a license registered to DMCA claim.
Right.
And you didn't authorize for any kind of re-upload, republish, repack, etc.
True, but what you need to do, or what you need to also have, is if you're going to re-upload or repack or whatever you want to say, it has to be under the fact that you either licensed it or you have done something to it to make it so it's an unoriginal product. For example, reaction videos. They can get away with the claim because they have made it their own product because they're reacting to it, which makes it basically their own video but as a reaction.
And that'll take down your mod, which you'll have to remove from your server if you want your server to continue working or running. And that's a 7 to 14 day mandatory period already.
10 days that it'll stay down.
Wow.
Even though.
So if this is true, where's the evidence? Show us a DMCA claim. Show us the 10 days or that you have on the server. Show us something.
Like, they have 10 days to sue you. Send paperwork to Steam that can't be fictitious.
No, that's completely bullshit. To make sure it's not fictitious, you will have literally something sent by a government authority or the copywriting authority. They will have an email chain or something to prove that it's true. You are completely bullshitting this to spin it to your narrative. You cannot send something that is fictitious. That is first illegal and fraudulent.
And what did he do differently outside of, like, he filled it with phony information for you to, in turn, because you have to do a counter DMCA to prove that, like, and you have to put legitimate info. You have to put your name, address, phone number, everything, your contact information legally, and then Steam, like, as long as that checks out for the defender, like, then
Yeah.
you're good. Like, they're gonna just allow your DMCA, allow your creation to stay because that proves that you're the original. But he's using that information because it's public to him.
What the fuck? I'm sorry for obviously swearing here, but why are you spinning this? You cannot see the other person's contact information. They will be contacted separately by the authority dealing with this. They can't see your email, they can't see your phone number, house address, or anything. This is completely online, and they will message you or email you directly to get the thing and fill out a form for themselves. The person who's doing the DMCA claim cannot see this information unless it's getting taken to the courts.
To then
Yeah, correct.
give to his community and then program his bots to like phone calls, text. Like how many phone calls did you get?
Fuck me sideways and call me Stacy. What in the fuck is this logic? Where? What? Why? Wait, what? How? No! Where is the proof? At all, Jeremy? Why? What? No, no!
Like
While
while
I
you
was
were,
at work,
yeah, while you were
I
at
was
work.
at work, I got at least 13 phone calls and over 100 messages, like text messages on my phone.
Wow.
Then shows. You can easily edit it to just scrub the phone number so the person who did it isn't going to be shown to your 12,000 views on this video. Just shows that you got these in a certain time and shows their messages. Scrub the phone number, shows their message. Why are you being so brain dead about this? Show it. If you're going to go ahead and take it to court like you want to in this video where you make it something say please donate, show it. Obviously they can't disprove it.
And that's just
and
as you were trying to leave work.
You just said it was during work, not leaving work. What?
Like
while
while
I
you
was
were,
at work,
yeah, while you were
I
at
was
work.
at work,
Now you can see why it's a bit weird. Is this lies?
yeah, and yeah, and I actually left work early because I seen everything that was going down in Discord, and I know like I'm just dedicated, and I had I'm able to leave at earlier times. I'm fortunate enough to do that, but
Are you really saying you left work early because you had someone messaging you 100 times and getting 13 phone calls because you are too busy, you're too stuck up about a mod or something ridiculous? What are you going to say to your boss? Oh, sorry, boss, I have to leave work early because I'm getting a few phone calls and a few messages. I don't think that'll stack up, mate. I'm not sure where the logic is here. What job are you doing to be able to leave work early because you're being spam phone? Block the numbers, block the messages. If it's even a shred of truth in here, at least show that what you're saying is completely true and not utter bullshit.
Right.
the amount of stress that it can cause, like sending hackers into your server, bots into your Discord, trying to
And
ruin everything.
should we inform the people that are listening currently that people who want to go, like people who go and or have played on the ReArmed servers, the mods that they're required to download are bugged as well?
Where is the proof of this accusation? You can easily find out if the mod is bugged. Just go to Lad, who was on the 878.8 podcast over a year ago, who even showed someone who went into the file to prove it was bugged, because you can see the script where it pulls that information to get these admin privileges. You can't accuse of the mods being bugged when these are downloaded directly from the Steam website or the Steam, just Steam, to be able to play the servers. You cannot say that they are bugged. How do you know they are bugged? Please, show the proof. You cannot make this accusation and not show the proof. You managed to show plenty earlier on about some bullshit about someone about Designful saying, oh, send hackers and all this to your server. But where's the proof that this? Show it. Stop saying all these accusations with no guile or even any proof. This is what it's getting. I'm getting stressed out just listening to this and editing this, and even going commenting over this. But it makes no sense.
Yeah. So you're a fucking idiot if you download his mods. Anybody that looks into this and actually knows what the background of this,
Like what
if
they're
you're
talking
willing to
about.
like if people would look into what Designful did and ReArmed is doing currently, like
Like they
you'd
need
be
your
a
phone
fucking
number and
moron.
email just to play on the server. And
Yeah.
not only that, they
And
need you to join the Discord too.
Now, this is where the smooth brain comes out. The reason why they require your email and a verified phone number is because they set the Discord to high. And by doing so, this means you need to have a verified email on Discord and a verified phone number. And this is to prevent, as I said earlier, people going to the server on alt accounts to do some fuckity. And to do this, they need that. And to play on the server, you don't need that at all. You can join straight away through the DayZ launcher of other launchers. The only reason they require you to join the Discord is so they can see the rules and the rules of the server, like every other server. The rules are in the Discord or on the website. So why are you making this so brain dead and so stupid to try and make a point against ReArmed and Designful when you can barely provide any evidence about a DMCA claim or any other accusations you have towards Designful? Why is all this so brain dead and stupid? Or everything of the server is in the Discord. For example, store, polls to dictate the future of the server, mod updates, ban updates, change logs, events, and other shit about the server is all in the Discord. That's why they require you to join the Discord, so they don't have to ban you because you're so stupid on the server and break the rules. Like, every server I know on Xbox, you have to join the Discord to see the rules. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the same on every other server unless you play your fucking official. Are you stupid? Like, come on.
yeah, and if you join, like I've had friends, even say that he threatens to use your real name. So
Yeah, because he already has this information. He's just seeing if you'll submit to him, and if you
Yeah.
don't, you're gonna fear his wrath because he's power tripping.
Then fucking prove it. Stop with the accusations and prove it. If you have proof to back your claim, ask your friend to get the proof of him threatening to use your real name to prove your point. Like, what's with all this? Is like the 15th accusation with no actual backup or evidence to claim. Like, why are you being so stupid?
yeah. And there were times where him and his admin were looking into requiring the people, like if the people listening Google it, like look up Designful or ReArmed, looking into people's computers while if they suspect you of cheating in any way, they're gonna scroll through your fucking emails. They're gonna
Hijack your
open
entire
up your
computer. Like it's
Yeah.
privacy that's entirely gone. It's out the window.
but
What are they, an Indian scam network? I'm sorry, but where in the logic is this? If someone can do that and be so stupid to allow something like that, you either have to be in your 60s and very little like knowledge of how a computer works, or just grab your fucking phone and record it. You can easily get proof. It's illegal to do that. So why can't you prove it? I doubt they did that. I doubt they went through your emails. I'm sorry, but if you can't do that.
But even if that man, like, I shouldn't say man because he's a boy.
What was the point of that?
Fucking 17, 16 years old, something like that. But even if he sent me a PNG image, I wouldn't click on it. I wouldn't fucking download it. Nothing.
No, yeah.
From
Phishing.
him. Yeah.
At this point, they just make some more wild accusations about links and shit, and apparently how Designful's hacking into your mainframe or something. So I'm going to skip to the main
recently I seen when we were flooded by Designful himself.
Yep,
We were
I
flooded
banned
by
him.
Inclement Dab and
And
AJ45.
Inclement Dab is the guy that
Yeah,
he's the
yeah,
guy that made Dab's framework, which is
yep.
basically like the base level, like the backbone of, like, if you want
DayZ.
to own
Yeah,
a custom DayZ server, you're gonna have Dab's framework because that's
yeah,
what everybody uses. It's that
yeah.
popular. It has over
Now,
400,000 people subscribed to that. Not only
you know,
that, he is the creator of DayZ Editor, the world
yeah,
editor.
yeah.
DayZ Editor.
So, and just to add in there,
He's on
because I
Designful
don't
side. It's nuts.
like I don't want any hate towards Dab.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely. Yeah.
like I have the utmost respect for the man, but I'm really disappointed in him that he took a turn to go towards the server that's destroying others.
It's
That's
destroying DayZ, the community, and it's opening up a world not that affects not only DayZ but any other game on Steam.
And this is kind of where I kind of lost train of thought at this point. They're saying that Dab did all this stuff with Designful, but they don't want to go after Dab, and that all servers require Dab framework, which is not true. You can have a completely vanilla server, and you don't need to use Dab's framework. People use Dab's framework so they can utilize mods. Dab's made DayZ Editor so you can personalize, obviously, the map and import JSON files to be able to make all these sorts of different areas. So I'm lost.
That like operate that uses the workshop, because now with people with this knowledge they can go to another game and then false
yeah,
DMCA and attack other people on other games. Just so you guys know how important this is, because there's
yeah,
hundreds of games that utilize the Steam workshop,
yeah.
and it's an exploit that is it destroys the entire game.
This is also pretty brain dead. One DMCA, which is, if it's false, is fraudulent, would not go ahead to another game and encourage other people to do the same, because then it's just going to be a massive fraudulent investigation done, and it's going to be a lot of crime. And like, why? No, absolutely not. I'm not sure how you turn into a fucking detective over a bullshit claim with no evidence. As a fucking Discord detective, you should be getting the evidence.
So in the back of my mind, like you got Dab, that's a fucking amazing modder, like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then you get Designful, which in my eyes and
Bad
in my
influence.
opinion, I personally think he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Every
influence.
yeah, everybody's gonna have their own opinions. I'm sure you're gonna get it in the comments, but in my eyes, in my opinion, he's a fucking
From our own
waste.
experience, like he's an absolute
And
fucking tool.
I'm not going to play the rest of this now because it's just them pretty much just chatting shit about, obviously, Designful and them showing their true bias, especially Fossum Gaming, who's showing his true bias, and the fact that he's not going on both sides here to get evidence on both sides. And obviously, he's pretty much working with Dope in this to basically just defamate and try and shit on the ReArmed servers purely because he can. Now, there is literally zilch, nada evidence for the rest of this. But I am going to go ahead and bring you to 19 minutes in this video where they show this.
If you want to support my friend with the username of Dope pursuing legal actions against Designful and ReArmed, I have set up my Super Thanks button below. The goal is $5,000, which will go directly to his legal costs, and anything that passes 5K, I pledge 100% of the money to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
It's nice that you wanted to do a little bit for charity, but you will be laughed out of court if you go ahead and take this to court, because if you actually have the evidence of a false DMCA claim, which is, yes, fraudulent, but I'm pretty sure if it's in America, I'm pretty sure that'll be handled by the correct authority. about the DMCA claim, but you will be 100% left out of court because all this is a he said, she said. Because at the moment, you're saying he did shit, he's saying you may have done some shit, but I'm not gonna obviously go ahead and take sides here. But I think with the obviously proving that you're breaking Bohemian TOS is pretty much more accurate than what you're saying here. Because at the moment, you're saying all this shit about Discord bullshit, which I'm pretty sure you could just go to Discord and they will handle it. I'm not pretty sure the legal authorities don't need to. But the fact that you're asking your audience to donate when you haven't provided a single shred of proof of any of this is completely fucking ridiculous. I've never thought I would actually get pissed off so much over a YouTube video unless it's involving a dog being kicked by some scumbag drug dude. You are literally the worst Discord detective over some DayZ bullshit I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure I've done a better job in 9 hours than you have piecing this video together and doing this interview with Dope, which probably has taken you a good fair while, even though it's pretty clear cut this is completely biased and completely bullshit with zero evidence supporting your claims. Get a fucking grip. And well, it's time to go to the second video, which is about as questionable as the first, and it's pretty brain dead as well. So let's get straight into this bad boy.
What this video is about. You see, this is Dabs, a very, very good friend of Designful, and as of just a few short hours ago, the co-owner of ReArmed. Dabs says he has no responsibility in this situation.
Which he doesn't. You made it clear in the first video that he has no responsibility in it. He's just the owner of a few mods. And you're even going to point this out in a second. How can you link, because he has a few mods and obviously he's big in the community, for the modding community, to him being responsible? That makes no sense.
However, that is a lie, because he has the most power in the DayZ modding community, you know, Dabs framework, or the all-time best mod ever made on the DayZ workshop page, DayZ Editor.
So fucking what if it is? Like, just because he's got the biggest, like you said in your last video, what you need Dabs framework. Of course he's going to have the biggest download and biggest mod in the community. Like, what's the point?
Yet, here he was, defending his buddy Designful. But my last video gained a lot of traction, and people noticed. So what did Dabs and Designful do? Dabs didn't want to be a part of this when shit hit the fan. But yet, here he is.
This is the most ridiculous claim I've ever heard. I don't understand your point. Like, of course he's going to side with Designful. You dragged his name through the dirt in the last video. And he was involved in the first place. I don't understand why you so bothered about it. Of course he's going to back Designful when you drag his name through the dirt. And especially because you got no fucking evidence in the first place.
Saying that it's creepy that we are calling him out on their shit.
Why? 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 Why?
So why would it be creepy? Are you hiding something? Why is it weird we're calling y'all out? Here is a person who will remain anonymous, who has experience with the inner circle that includes the owner of ReArmed, Designful.
You can think RMX, autonomy. I wasn't ReArmed, I was on the Perception. There was a server back in the days. I don't know the name anymore. It was one of the best servers. They had 5 servers. That's like 2 years ago. The server declined in 6 months. They didn't have anything, and then they closed off officially this 2022.
If you're keeping it anonymous, or anonymous at all, why aren't you proving he was in the inner circle? We cannot trust your claim at all if you cannot prove if this is true. Like I said, when I did the other video, literally 10 minutes ago, You are not making any sense. You're not proving any points. You're not showing any evidence. How can you prove this person was in the inner circle? We can't trust you. You're an admin in his server. And don't me tell you how I know, because I asked one of your old admins from your server. You're literally a senior admin right now in Gen Z owned by Dope. How can we trust you at all?
With 4 active players.
Wow, and also like the thing with the other servers that are still up, you know, and they're, you know, full pop, whatever.
Yeah.
Like 28 days. That the owner of that he has to be getting compensated by Designful to keep the servers up, because why would he keep it running, you know, if it's just filled with hackers?
It's true. I believe it is. Yeah. It's one way or the other. Like I know for a fact they are like in contact. I know for a fact. SMN, for example.
What's your point? Like, what?
SMN is from, I believe, was it SMN or what was his name? I don't know exactly. SMN something. He's the owner of, I'm not sure, the Perception maybe. I know for a fact.
No, Artrix is the owner of Perception. Like, at least get your facts right before you actually go ahead and like do some research.
These dudes are in contact with each other. Now,
nothing to do with the situation. Everything everybody's talking about are past transgressions that they have no proof about.
Nothing to do. Yeah, which is
or even if they have proof, it's
discussed.
not. Yeah, it's not part of this discussion right now. So.
And I mean, as we said,
the spamming issue with the Discord bots,
which
that's something that Designful you've admitted to and apologised for and moved past. So that's
you got it exactly right.
It's a non-issue.
I believe you need to be held accountable for your past transgressions, but we're bringing up old stuff here that
I hadn't updated the mod originally, like a month ago when that cheater was on my server. So they thought, like, since I knew Dill the longest out of any owner, like most of them would come to me and ask me where I got my keycard mod from. And I'm like, you know, it's Dill. So they all like kind of linked me to him when, like, in actuality, like I didn't have anything to do with that.
So yeah, he admitted to it. Obviously, I couldn't see because I didn't watch this video when I watched that other video. So good. You've got some evidence. Good. You've got something. But then you said even more lies. So prove it, please. Like, come on.
And like, yeah, I was like betrayed more than anybody by that whole situation. Because like I have known this guy for like months, and he just basically like said "fuck you" to me and everybody else. Like I brought like some owners that I like genuinely respect, like SFM from Fallen.
What the fuck?
SMN is from, I believe, was it SMN or what was his name? I don't know exactly. SMN something.
SFM from Fallen, like I potentially put a backdoor in a server into just by inviting them into the the heli crash mod.
Okay, so you linked SFM to this, but he said he accidentally. Does it mean it's true? He could have sent the wrong file. He could have sent the wrong mod link. Maybe he was sharing mods or got the wrong mod. He doesn't know it, obviously. So prove it. Show us that he knew.
Kind of horrified me because when I think, like, I mod myself as well. I do a lot of map changes, obviously with DayZ editor, but I do as well like mapping on terrain builder. Now I'm changing up to Infusion engine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And so why are you zooming into the Dabs modding? It's the biggest DayZ editor file going. DayZ editor is what I use to my JSONs. If there's number one, I'm not sure what you're trying to link Dab here for. Keep it on track.
So basically, you go in and out of some places and you check some stuff and you see some stuff, And when I heard that thing with Dub, it kind of horrified me because.
Hey Dabs, hey Designful, a message for you since I know that both of you are very angry and you're watching right now. I'm gonna milk the ever-living shit out of this. Just know, if you keep harassing me and Dope, the higher the allowance is for legal costs. But on the bright side, at least St. Jude's Children's Hospital will be receiving even more in donations. I have the super thanks button activated right below this video next to the like button. Any amount of money that surpasses legal costs will go directly to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
What the fuck was that? You would be laughed out of court if you take this in. There's very little evidence. There is very little, maybe verbal proof. You're not showing or even proving that any of these people you're bringing on has any credibility at all with this. We don't know who this person is. You cannot prove who this person is unless you decide to go ahead and show us who it is. And even then, at the moment, it's he says, she says. You haven't got the proof. If you do have the proof, why don't just actually go ahead and take it to court instead of lacking on it? Stop lying about stuff and make it happen. Prove that you're not lying.
I was about to buy a server, and I had some new ideas because I'm like, every time, like, how can we make DayZ better than it is? My fears came like, I was like, all right, he made a video about he made a video, and this is really interesting. And I had the feeling that something is going on the whole time, but I wasn't sure what it was.
The one thing that they do not want is exposure. They don't want any publicity of what's really going on behind closed doors. It's a very tight-knit circle, and they have been successful for a year or two far too long. Like,
definitely.
It's a shame, really.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
I want to cut back to okay, so the thing with modding in DayZ, the only reason DayZ is relevant today is because of mods. Mods create thousands of hours of replayability to any game. So the fact that the modding community itself is struggling with this, I mean, hell, there's only one server that has the absolute power to just completely demolish the point in playing any other servers.
Absolutely, completely false. People have their own style of how they want to play DayZ. If they want to play roleplay, they'll go to roleplay servers like Survivalists. If they want to play some hardcore servers, they'll probably go to a hardcore server. They don't have to stick to ReArmed. There are so many servers. Go on to DayZ and just let it all load in. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of other servers that aren't ReArmed. Stop bullshitting to make your narrative.
Obviously, that's what's going on as well. It's not just based on a mod level. I think it's way deeper than that. Way deeper than that.
Oh, I do too. I absolutely believe you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to tip us off like that.
I don't understand the point of you saying tip us off. The person has no credibility. Because you're not proving who he is. You're not evidencing that he was, in fact, indeed, inside this inner circle that you've got going on. You cannot, if you don't prove it, there's no credibility. Because you do not have proof. This person was, in fact, indeed, in this inner circle. Make it make sense, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We're going to keep your name and everything anonymous as your request.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty slick. Let's just put it like that.
Not really. You just dropped your voice for everyone to hear. If they've heard you over the mic before, they can go, hey, it's this dude. But obviously, because he hasn't put a voice modifier on it's now just public. You can easily get found if they know who you are. At least you have no credibility. This it doesn't make sense. There's no proof. All here is obviously you evidencing some little bits that you've said in the last video.
Right.
If I get anything else, I'll give you a head up. Definitely.
Okay. Definitely. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. No worries, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
No problem, bro.
Why are you running? Why are you running? Yeah? What? You owe me money. You have to give me back my money.
This meme is what wants me to. I just want to slap my head against the table. It makes no sense. ReArmed isn't running from this. You want to sue them because of what? A little bit of hurt that you've got from Dope, which Dope hasn't proved anything that you've said or claimed about ReArmed. At least show something. We're all waiting for something to happen here, and at the moment, there's no hope. Please prove your claims before make these stupid fucking memes. They aren't running from you. In fact, they are more willing to give you a challenge because they are literally waiting for you to actually show some proof. I'm waiting for you to show some proof. Most of the DayZ community is waiting for you to show some proof. The only people that's backing you up is people in your server that you're a senior admin for. So please, show us.